You've probably heard of the seven heavens, right? It's this ancient idea of a layered cosmos, like a ladder stretching all the way up to the divine. But what if that ladder was actually leading you down? Today, we're going to look at three totally different and frankly mind-bending maps of that mystical universe.
I mean, that one question just turns everything upside down, doesn't it? For some ancient thinkers, the heavens were this glorious ladder you had to climb. But for others, they were a cosmic prison you had to escape. It all depends on which map you're reading.
All right, so our first map comes from a really old text, the second book of Enoch. And this one is pretty straightforward. Let's imagine a glorious ascent, basically a guided tour through all the layers of the cosmos, leading you to the very throne of God. So in this story, the prophet Enoch gets picked up by angels, and they take him through 10 different levels. Now, the first 7 are the ones we're really going to focus on today, because they make up the physical cosmos, the stuff we can actually see.
And you know what the book calls the rulers of these heavens? The Great Lamps. It uses their ancient Greek names. And these aren't just some random figures. I'm pretty sure you'll recognize names like Kronos, Aphrodite, and Ares from mythology.
Okay, and this is where it really clicks. These aren't just mythical beings. They're the ancient way of naming the planets. The Greeks looked up and saw Kronos in the slow, heavy crawl of Saturn. They saw Aphrodite in the brilliant light of Venus, and Ares in the fiery red glow of Mars. These are the 7 classical wandering stars that this whole model is built on.
So as Enoch goes up, each heaven has its own vibe, its own character. The first one, the moon, that's where he sees the laws of physics, basically the rules holding everything together. Then he gets to the heaven of Mars, and it's this place of cosmic war, full of punished, rebellious angels. Venus, on the other hand, is all harmony and music. And finally Saturn, that's the absolute edge, the boundary even his angel guides can't cross.
All right, so get ready for a total 180. Our second map takes everything we just learned from Enoch's amazing trip and completely shatters it. Because the Gnostics, well, they looked at the exact same cosmic structure and saw something much, much darker.
I mean, you can't get more opposite than that, right? What one group saw as a divine ladder leading straight to God, the other saw as an elaborate cosmic prison built to trap your very soul. Same structure, completely terrifying new meaning.
So, in the Gnostic view, the creator God from the Old Testament, he's not the real true God. Nope, he's a lesser, kind of arrogant being they call the demiurge. And this whole material world he built, yeah, it's not a gift, it's a cage. It's designed specifically to trap the little spark of the divine that they believed exists inside every single one of us.
According to the Gnostics, Earth is basically the bottom of the pit. The 7 heavens aren't divine at all. They're called the heavens of chaos, and each one is ruled by a demonic jailer, a kind of warden called an archon. The real God, the true realm of light, exists completely outside and beyond this whole messed up creation.
So, we have 2 completely conflicting views of the same 7-layered cosmos. One's a ladder, the other's a prison. How in the world can we compare them? Well, to do that, we need a common framework. And that's where our third map comes in. It's not another story, but a powerful diagram we can use to see how these 2 ancient ideas stack up. This is the Kabbalistic tree of life. Now, it's a much later mystical system, but think of it like a blueprint. Its whole structure is designed to map out the flow of energy from the divine all the way down to the physical world. And that makes it the perfect tool for us to see exactly how these other 2 systems align and, more importantly, where they don't. So this is how the planets are usually laid out on the lower part of the tree. It's known as the Chaldean order. See how it starts with the moon down at the bottom and then just logically climbs all the way up to Saturn at the top of the 7? Makes sense. Okay, now this is where it gets really weird and fascinating. When we try to map Enoch's journey onto this structure, it's an almost perfect fit. Almost. For some reason, he swaps the positions of Venus and Jupiter. We have no idea why. But that tiny little change suggests his tradition had a really unique take on what these cosmic forces were all about. It's a genuine ancient mystery. So, which map is right? Is heaven a ladder or is it a prison? Well, the modern psychological take on all this offers a third option. What if these aren't maps of outer space at all, but maps of inner space? And that is the key takeaway right there. These ancient systems, they're not trying to tell you some objective, literal truth about the universe. They're a symbolic language. They're powerful tools that allow you to explore the different layers of your own mind.
So in this way of looking at it, the planets aren't these far-off things in the sky anymore. They become symbols for the fundamental energies, the fundamental forces that exist inside every single one of us. The whole cosmos becomes a giant mirror for the human psyche.
Think of it like this. Your Mars, that's your inner fire, your willpower, your drive. Venus is your capacity for love, your desire, your connection. Your logic and reason, that's Mercury. Your core sense of self, your ego, that's the sun. Your intuition is the moon. All of a sudden, you realize you've got this entire solar system of personality traits operating inside you.
And what this does is it brings us to a really powerful new understanding. If all these cosmic forces are actually within us, then the great journey through the heavens isn't about escaping the world, it's about mastering ourselves.
So the goal isn't to ascend to some far-off heaven or escape a cosmic prison anymore. Instead, the goal is to become the governor of your own internal solar system. To bring all of these powerful, sometimes conflicting psychological forces into balance and harmony.
And check this out. This completely reframes those Gnostic archons, right? An archon is no longer some demon up in the sky. It's any psychological force or even an external influence that ends up ruling you when you're not conscious of it. Things like addiction, depression, propaganda, even just unchecked anger.
So, the final question I want to leave you with isn't about the cosmos out there, but the one right inside of you. Is your logic, your Mercury, totally overriding your emotion, your Venus? Is your drive, your Mars, running wild without any empathy from Jupiter to temperate? Which part of your inner solar system needs your attention right now?